We talk about energy with energy analysts warning that load shedding could get even worse in the coming months. The South African National Energy Development Institute, SANEDI, is encouraging South Africans to save electricity this festive season. This in an effort to help ease the pressure on our national grid in hopes to reduce the possibility of load shedding over the festive season. For more on this, we're joined on Zoom by SANEDI's project manager for Appliance Standards and Labelling, Ashanti Mogosetsi. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Lebu. Thank you so much, and good morning to all the viewers.
Let's start with talking about energy usage during the festive season. What are you talking about that we need to save on that we don't ordinarily save on, the rest of the year?
Yeah, for sure. So the festive season, is a time for family. Most people are at home. We're in a season where we enjoy all sorts of activities really to celebrate the festive season. And sometimes we're not conscious of the energy that we're consuming. And there's a real opportunity here to save energy for the national grid so that there isn't pressure and there's enough energy to go around. And certainly to save us as consumers a bit of money, right? Mm-hmm. So that there's more to go around, and certainly for us to be able to do more with what we have during this season. So it's very crucial. So I'm coming here as the energy elf, so to speak, and to just give you a few tips on how you can definitely save during the festive season.
What are those tips? Tell us a little bit.
Yes. So I saw some beautiful images in your introduction of Christmas trees. Lights are one of the things that we enjoy in the festive season, really to give you that sense that it is the time for that joy. And shopping for LED lights is a really great alternative as opposed to using your incandescent or halogen lighting. It's very simple. If you go into a store to buy Christmas lights, you simply check on your package and you make sure you are aware of the type of lighting that you are buying. LED lights save more, they're much cooler, they last longer, and they're far more safer than the older lighting technology that I just mentioned. And then, of course, it's the season to give. And it's always good to be conscious of what it is you are buying people, because if you are buying somebody a gift that uses high energy, it's not very great for them in the long term. So gifting green is another great suggestion that we can embrace in this season, buying people gifts that don't consume energy or that consume very little energy. So part of what we do at SANEDI is design labels that are put on products, specifically electronic products, and they tell you how much energy, or they grade the energy consumption of that particular product. So consumers must just be aware of this when they are shopping for gifts so that you're able to give green gifts.
Do you get a sense that people understand the reasons behind why we should be using electricity sparingly?
There's lots of awareness that needs to go around. And as I mentioned before, there's a direct benefit to the consumer, which is cost savings, but it's also so essential to use energy responsibly because there are environmental benefits. And as you mentioned earlier, load shedding is something that we are really having a tough time with at the moment as a country. And we certainly wouldn't want to experience lights off during the festive season. So in order to make sure there isn't too much demand on our grid and there's enough energy to go around, it's very important that we use our electricity very responsibly.
And I want to go back to the work that SANEDI does. What is it that the Institute does in relation to electricity and the supply of electricity?
Yes. So we're a research organization that particularly has applied research that helps government entities to set policies that ensure that we are using products that are energy efficient. We do have a number of programs at SANEDI that speak to achieving energy efficiency, reducing greenhouse gases, and alternatively reducing the pressure that we do put on our national grid. So we work very closely with the likes of Eskom, government entities that are responsible for ensuring that we reduce energy consumption in the country.
Yeah.
And we are the research body that feeds into those critical decisions that have to be made.
And what does research say about the usage of electricity over the past year and how it affects the, me and you, our usage and, taking into consideration the rolling blackouts? What does research say about the past 12 months?
Certainly. I mean, there has been an increase of energy usage in the last couple of months. You could even call it since lockdown began in the country, so to speak, because of remote working conditions. More people are in their homes consuming more energy. And, we have experienced an increase of rolling blackouts in the past year as well. So it's been something that's directly affected us as consumers. And it's really up to us to take the baton into our hands to ensure that we're being responsible with how we use energy in the home. And going back to the tips that we are speaking about today, simple things such as your washing machine, your dishing machine, ensuring that it uses cold water so that you don't have to that your machines use in order to wash up your appliances. So these are just some of the things that we can look at. Cooking, for example, is something South Africans love to do, just not even in the festive season, but cooking is really part of the home culture. And it's so critical to realize that small practices such as cooking with the lid open, you lose heat, and that therefore translates to longer cooking hours. Or if you're using the oven, to use the oven light as opposed to keep on opening the oven every time to check how far along your food is. No really having a need to preheat an oven as well, just popping the food in and adding a few more minutes at the top of the cooking time that you need. Really, the small things that make a difference. Even unplugging of appliances. A lot of people don't know that their appliances are on standby. A lot of the time, even if they are off, but simply because they are plugged in, they are on standby mode. And that slowly steals away energy from you because it uses electricity. So just switching off plugs when you're going away, regulating your geyser when you're around the home, and ensuring that you switch it away if you're going away on holiday as well. These are all things that can make a crucial difference to the pockets of us who consume energy, and obviously having an environmental and national economic impact at large.
Ashanti, with those tips, I mean, I didn't even know some of the stuff that you were saying as well. I didn't even know about the cooking with the lid open as well. How much of myths as well get into what we know about electricity? For instance, I've always known that, you preheat the oven, but I didn't know you don't even have to. How much of those are around as well that, feed into what we already know about electricity?
Yes, I mean, that's why I mentioned earlier that awareness creation is so important when it comes to energy usage, because people can simply share tips that are not accurate. And that's the importance of research organizations, because we conduct studies that actually give us factual data about how it is we can go about saving energy. So having institutions like this, having interviews like we're having today, to let the public know of what the true savings potentials and areas in which they can capitalize on to save energy are. So it's so important that we share with the public what it is they can do, making sure that the information is factual.
So between the oven and the geyser, which one is worse?
The geyser, definitely. The geyser is the biggest energy guzzler. Let me tell you, it can guzzle up to 40% of your energy in an average household. So it's very important to also use technology such as geyser timers, which will help to regulate when your geyser comes on and off. And then when you're going away, also to ensure that you switch off your geyser. Also, regulating the temperature of your water can really come in handy when it comes to saving energy, because in that way, you're not using your energy to heat up water to the maximum temperature that it's able to. So definitely a geyser is a low-hanging fruit, and one where there is great energy savings potential.
And we can't live without the geyser, Batu.
Definitely. Although I will tell you, for the brave in the hot summer months, cold showers are something that can also help you.
I'll tell you what, I'm dizzy. I don't want a cold shower. Okay, so let's do
something that we can look out for. Yeah.
The top guzzlers of electricity in the house. We started with the geyser, the oven. Then what are some of the other appliances that take up electricity?
Yes, definitely your washing machine uses up energy. So it's always good to ensure that when you are loading loads of laundry, that you are putting in a full load and trying not to wash your laundry in smaller loads, because you can save energy if you are planning around full loads of laundry, full loads of a dishwasher as well. So ensure that you are maximizing the potential of your appliances in the home. And then, of course, your laptops, and any other devices which we are usually using that are always often plugged in. And even if they are off, if they are plugged in, they are slowly chowing away electricity. And that's something else most people are not aware of, that perhaps if my laptop is off and just plugged in, it's not utilizing any energy. And over the long time, that can really, really cost you in terms of your energy bill.
All right, Ashanti, thank you so much for talking to us. Have an amazing festive season. She's project manager for Appliance Standards and Labelling at SANEDI, giving us some tips for the festive season on how you can save electricity. So you heard the Simsnet, don't bake.
Mamela, you know, there's something so confusing about geyser, because we've been told that switching your geyser on and off actually chows more electricity than just leaving it on.
Tips,
so many confusing tips.
But
actually.
I believe her more than anyone
I do
else,
believe her actually, and especially with the oven part. And I always
done the research.
And I always preheat the oven.
Me too.